Sawadee Cap everybody, it's Niall and Thailand here, and just out having a cup of Earl Grey tea out in Starbucks here in Ekamai. It's a really nice Starbucks actually. It's probably the nicest Starbucks around in Bangkok. So, what are we going to talk about today? I think I've got 2 or 3 things to discuss today, so I might do 2 here, and then I've got a meetup group. So my first of this particular meetup group, this is the one for the creative writing. So that's going to be out in Bartel's Cafe between Pumplong and Tonglo. I'll be heading there after here and do my 3rd video there. So the 2 topics to discuss today, I'll be splitting these between 2 different videos. So the first one is, why be a digital nomad? Like what's the appeal of being a digital nomad? So you know, I'm not going to sit here and talk for other people. I don't know why other people do it. I'm just going to tell you why I do it. So my kind of draw to being a digital nomad started a long time ago, before I even knew what a digital nomad was. You know, I seen a documentary about Chuck Berry one time, of all things, the godfather of rhythm and blues himself. He used to tour with just his guitar and a suitcase. They were the only 2 things he brought. And in this documentary, I see him on a plane. He has just his guitar case and his suitcase. The suitcase had 2 change of clothes, and that's all he took on the road with him. And you know, he used to, when he got to the show, he'd go into the promoter's office and discuss the details of the show with the promoter, and he'd tell the promoter it's $10,000 now and $10,000 after the show. So his fee was $20,000. He demanded half of it up front before going on stage, and the other half when he came off stage. And he would also tell the promoter that his responsibility was everything bar Chuck Berry being at the show. You know what I mean? He's like, the promoter had to promote it, obviously, sell all the tickets, book the venue. That's all stuff that, generally speaking, promoters do anyway. And like, you know, the lighting rigs, the, you know, all that kind of stuff, sound, you know, sound guy, all that kind of stuff. But in Chuck Berry's case, he literally had nothing. You know, he wouldn't show up with his own band, so the promoter would have to hire local musicians, local session musicians, to be his backing band. And like, these are people he's probably never even met before, and they're going to go up and play this concert with him in front of, you know, 10,000 people or whatever it was that, you know, was at the show. And the promoter would also have to rent the backline for Chuck Berry. So the stuff like the, you know, not just the session musicians' equipment, like the drum kits and the, you know, all that kind of stuff, the microphones. He'd also have to rent an amplifier for Chuck Berry because he didn't have his own. You know, he wouldn't bring his own on tour with him. It wasn't that he just couldn't afford it or didn't have one. It was like, this is more stuff for me to carry, you know. He didn't even have his own car, like, you know, he would just literally get onto a plane, go to the city, get his taxi from the airport to the venue, show up at the venue, and then taxi back to the airport again. So like, he didn't want to carry anything that he didn't have to carry. And something about just that level of self-sufficiency and, you know, I don't work for the man, you know, it just seemed really desirable to me. Like, he had his own trade, he had his own means of earning his own money, and you know, aside from the whole being a rock and roll god thing, just to, you know, that not needing anybody to earn a living was very appealing to me. And you know, I started kind of looking at ways that I could do that myself. And I put a lot of work into becoming self-reliant before I actually even became a digital nomad. You know, I used to work for other companies, like obviously I was employed by other companies. And just one day I was like, you know what, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of coming to the same office every day and, you know, talking to the same people and just doing the same shit all day, every day. I don't want to do it anymore. I want to do my own thing. So I left, you know, I just left, you know, I left that company I was working for, and I just started working for myself. And just hit the phones, like I'd be, you know, calling small to medium-sized contractors saying, you know, I'm looking to take on part-time positions or freelance positions or like whatever that was going. And before long, like not even a month went by when I had like 4 or 5 clients that were just like, yeah, you know, I've got enough work to keep you going for a day a week, or, you know, I've got this going. And, you know, I was kept busy, and, you know, but they all wanted me to kind of go out and meet them in their office and work from there for a few hours, or go out on site, or just do all that kind of stuff. And I was happy to do that for a little while to get in the door. But then eventually I even cut that back. I was like, no, I don't want to, you know, if there's a job that requires me to go out and meet someone, or if you need me to go out to a you know, a site and do a measure or something like that, I just don't want to do it. You know, can it be done remotely? Why can't it be done remotely? You know, architects send you the plan, I do my measure from the plan and send it back to you. You know, no need for me to go out and look at it. Why do I need to go out and look at it, you know? And eventually I just started getting to that. I started getting the clients to agree to let me just work from home. You know, the way you kind of do that is you appeal to their bottom line. You say like, look, it's cheaper if you just let me do this from home. You know, I'm not charging you transportation costs. You know, I can do it in 2 hours as opposed to spending, you know, 2 hours traveling in traffic, then getting there and doing my measure on site, which is another couple of hours, and then coming back another hour in transit, and then sitting down with my, you know, my notes and doing my spreadsheet, which if I was doing it from the plans, you're cutting out like easily 6 of those hours. You know what I mean? You're doing, instead of it being like a, you know, 8 or 9 hour project, it's a 2 or 3 hour project. So I was saying, instead of charging you like, you know, whatever that would be, 300 or 400 euros, I'm charging you 100 to 150 euros, you know? So they were like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like, you know, yeah, you're you know, it's good thinking. So I started working from home. Like, you know, I was just spending all of my time just sitting in my my living room on my, you know, my laptop, on my computer, sitting at the desk there, working away and never having to leave, like spending all day every day in my pajamas. And I loved it. Like, I just, you know, this really appeals to me because you know, I just don't like people. You know what I mean? I just don't like dealing with people. It's not my favorite thing in the world at all. And then eventually, like, I started kind of just thinking, I don't even need to be here to do this job. You know, I could be anywhere in the world. Like, you know, I was taking vacations at the time to Thailand, coming here for a month, loving my month off. And, you know, I'd take my laptop with me. If a job came in, I'd just do it, send it back to them, send them an invoice, say, can you pay me straight away? You know, most of my clients are fine with that. And that'd be another 300 euros that I could put towards my vacation, like, you know? I'd be like, sweet, I can do some shit that I wasn't planning on doing, like, you know? And then eventually I just kind of said, like, why don't I just move over here? You know, why don't I just do 6 months here and, like, stop paying crazy rent back home in Ireland? So that's exactly what I did. I moved over here. Like, initially I said, let's just try it. Try it for 4 months, you know, see if it's doable. If you start bleeding clients, it's not doable. You just, you know, you just can't do it. You have to put it out of your mind. I did it for 4 months and it was fine. You know, I didn't lose any clients. I did it again the following year for, I think it was about 7 or 8 months. Again, didn't lose any clients. You know, I've done it twice since then. I started losing clients this trip, I've been here too long. You know, I'm here a year now. A year I think is too long. I think the most you should do is maybe 7 or 8 months. I think 6 months is perfect. 6 months here, 6 months home. You know, take the 6 months at home where it's not too cold, and that's it. You're flying. So like, that's pretty much why I decided to do the whole digital nomad thing. Like, I think it really appeals to people that are quite introverted, maybe even to the point of being almost antisocial. Like, you know, I don't think I'm antisocial. I just think you know, I can deal with people so long as those people don't exert any authority over me. You know what I mean? If someone has this kind of a, you know, they're like throwing their weight around, I instantly don't like them. Just instantly don't like them. You know what I mean? So I can't work for people like that. And, you know, when I'm here, I avoid people like that at all costs, like, you know. So that'll bring us nicely on to the next video, actually. So that's coming up soon. Touch it all then, guys. Cheers.